Hello, my dear friends. Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself for a moment. Have you ever felt like your dream was too big for your life? Like the world expected you to stay small, but something inside you whispered, "No, I'm meant for more." If you've ever felt that, then this story is for you. Today I want to take you into the life of a boy who had nothing except that whisper. A poor boy, a forgotten boy, a boy with a dream so big that even the world felt uncomfortable around him. And maybe, just maybe, his story will remind you of your own. So sit with me, listen carefully, and feel every word, because what you're about to hear is not just a story, it's a mirror. Somewhere in this boy's journey, you might find a piece of yourself. The sun was barely rising when Arun woke up that morning. Not because an alarm rang, he didn't have one, but because life had taught him that dreams don't wait for comfort. His small hut was still dark. A pale light slipped through the cracks in the roof, drawing silver lines across the mud floor. He sat up slowly, careful not to wake his mother, who was sleeping after another night of coughing. If you had seen him, thin, tired, wearing a torn shirt, you might have thought, how can a boy like this ever dream big? But Arun wasn't thinking about what he lacked. He was thinking about one sentence, an English sentence he didn't fully understand, but whispered every morning. "I will make my life better." He whispered it now, quietly but fiercely, as if saying it kept his dream alive. That sentence was his hope, his motivation, his anchor in a world built against him. He didn't know grammar or pronunciation, but he knew meaning, and sometimes meaning is enough to change everything. He washed his face with cold water, put on his half-torn school shirt, and stepped outside. The ground was rough and stones cut his feet, but he walked fast because he had miles to go. Not just miles to school, but miles to his future. As he walked, children from other villages passed him on bicycles, wearing clean uniforms. They laughed and talked loudly, while Arun kept his eyes on the road. One boy shouted, "Hey, beggar boy, can you even read English?" The others laughed. Arun didn't respond. He had a sentence for moments like these. "I don't quit." He repeated it silently, as if it was armor protecting him from every insult thrown his way. People think bullying destroys dreams, but sometimes it builds warriors, and Arun was becoming one. When he reached school, he walked to the last bench, not because he wanted to sit there, but because everyone else believed that the last bench was where poor kids belonged. He didn't argue, protest, or complain. He simply opened his old, torn notebook and began writing the same English sentence over and over. "I am capable. I am capable. I am capable." His handwriting was shaky and his spelling sometimes wrong, but his intention was perfect. Little did he know that these simple sentences were rewiring his entire mind, not because they were English, but because they were belief. His English teacher walked in, and most students straightened up. Arun lifted his head slowly, praying today would be kinder than yesterday. "Students," the teacher announced, "there is an English speech competition next month." The class buzzed with excitement, except for Arun. He froze. A speech? In English? He had trouble introducing himself, let alone giving a speech. The teacher continued, "This is your chance to show confidence, your chance to show your voice. Your chance." That sentence hit Arun deeply because chances rarely knocked on his door. He lifted his hand slowly, uncertain, shaking. The class stared. "Yes, Arun?" the teacher asked. I want to try," he whispered. Gasps, laughter, whispers filled the room. He wants to try? Arun? The poor boy? He can't even say one proper English line. Why is he embarrassing himself? Their words were sharp, but Arun had a sentence ready. Let them talk. I will work. That sentence became his shield. After school, instead of going home, he walked to the big banyan tree behind the field. He sat there, opened his notebook, and began practicing English sentences aloud. He knew people might hear him and laugh, but he also knew something stronger. Dreams don't grow inside comfort zones. So he practiced. My name is Arun. I have a dream. I want to become successful. I believe in myself. I will not give up. He stumbled, mispronounced, repeated, and tried again and again and again. Poor children don't have privilege, but they have perseverance, the kind that breaks mountains. When he reached home late, his mother asked, "Why are you so tired today?" He smiled gently. "Just studying more, Amma." She nodded, not knowing her son was carrying a universe inside him. That night he studied English under a small candle. The flame flickered like his hope, small but alive. He read each sentence slowly. I can learn anything. I will speak confidently. I deserve a better life. Tears rolled down his face as he repeated the words, not because he was weak, but because he desperately wanted to believe them. He held the notebook close to his chest and whispered, "One day, I will make you proud, Amma." His mother didn't hear it, but the universe did. Days passed, weeks passed, and his English improved, not perfectly, but passionately. Every mistake he made was a step forward. Every sentence he practiced was a brick in the foundation of his dream. Every insult he ignored was proof of his rising strength. Slowly, the boy everyone ignored began becoming someone no one could forget. But here's the truth no one ever told the poor boy. Dreams don't grow in perfect places. They grow in broken homes, empty pockets, and sleepless nights. Sometimes the poorest dreams become the richest futures. The boy didn't know that yet. All he knew was that the world felt too big and he felt too small. But then something happened, something small, almost invisible, but it changed everything. One evening, after another long day of work, the boy was walking home under a sky that looked tired, just like him. Then he heard a voice, not from a person, not from the world, from somewhere inside. A whisper, soft but strong. Don't give up. He stopped walking and looked around. No one was there, but the whisper repeated, "Don't give up. Your dream needs you." For the first time in his life, he felt something new. Not confidence, not power, not success. He felt belief. Not belief from others. He had none, but belief from himself. And that is where every great story begins. The next day, he did something different. He woke up earlier. He worked the same jobs and did the same tasks, but with a different heart. He wasn't living for survival anymore. He was living for a dream. And dreams make everything feel lighter. But life doesn't allow growth without testing your strength. And right when he started to feel hope, the world decided to challenge him hard. One afternoon, while delivering vegetables, he slipped on a wet road. The basket fell, everything scattered, the vegetables were crushed under a truck passing by. The shop owner shouted at him. People watched. Some laughed, some pointed. For a moment he broke. He felt shame burn inside him. He wanted to run, hide, quit. Every dream felt impossible again. But then someone stepped toward him, not to shout, mock, or blame. It was an old man. He bent down, picked up the broken vegetables, and said something the boy never forgot. "Life will break you, my child, but you must never break yourself." The boy looked at him confused. The old man continued, "Storms come to make roots stronger, not weaker." Those words didn't fix the boy or solve his problems, but they planted something. A seed of courage, a seed of growth, a seed that whispered, "Maybe I can still rise." The old man gave him the money to replace the vegetables. No lecture, no judgment, just kindness. Sometimes one moment of kindness becomes the foundation of a future. That night, the boy sat under the same sky, but this time he didn't feel tired. He felt awake, alive, ready. He told himself, if life is going to test me, I will pass every test. He said it again, louder, I will rise. The next morning, something inside him had changed. His walk was different, his voice was different, and his eyes were different. He had purpose, he had fire, he had a dream worth fighting for. But slowly, the world started to notice. He wasn't faster, stronger, or smarter, but he was consistent. And consistency makes ordinary people unstoppable. First, he earned a little